What's up, you guys? We are back with another episode of Who Even As. As always, I'm Tay.
And I'm Jazz.
And we want to talk about the Grammys a little bit today.
Yeah. I think actually, this is the first time. I was about to say I think we all watched the Grammys, but this is the first time in a really long time I've watched an award show.
Oh, I did not watch it. I just kept up on
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I might not have all the details correct, but I saw enough clips. I feel like I watched the whole thing.
Yeah, I actually watched it, but I've been on like a Chappell Roan kick, so she was on there and I was like, okay, I'm going to watch it.
She did a hell of a performance.
She sure did. And you know what I thought was so cool? I guess we're just diving right in, but that usually when they're like, okay, sing with me or whatever, they're all celebrities, and I feel like sometimes they are kind of snooty about singing with people, but like everybody sang Pink Pony Club, and I just thought that was so cool.
It sounded like perfect harmony too. It sounded so good.
I saw this thing online. It was like when I heard the crowd and it sounded so good, and then I realized it's like recording artists.
I was literally gonna say that. It was like, well, yeah, it's supposed to sound good.
Yeah. So that was tripping me out, but yeah, she did really good. And when I was watching her like give her speech or whatever, she looked so nervous, but she stood her ground and saying what she wanted to say.
Yes. For everybody that doesn't watch or isn't up to date with this show, I thought her speech was pretty badass. She kind of went after just like the industry as a whole and just like how it kind of screws people over. And I just thought that was really cool to use your platform and your moment to do something for the better good. I just thought that was really cool of her.
Yeah, for sure. And she like, I'm just saying, like when she put her Grammy down on the floor and she was like, no, I'm gonna fucking just say what I have to say. Mm-hmm. Good for her though. Like I feel like she comes out a lot and she really like stands her ground, like with the taking pictures thing, or like with, I don't know, something else she had talked about, but she's really good at doing that. Yeah. So just talking about how like they sign these artists so young, and if they don't do as well as they want, they just drop them and they don't know anything else, and that's not right. That's
yeah.
That's...
Well, and she brought up a good point too. She said something along the lines of, if you put like people are putting their heart and souls into this, and so when they kind of like kick them to the curb, like you were saying, they don't have like a way to get back into like corporate America or do something else because they devoted their whole life to this. And I'm sure that does make it hard to go on to do other things, especially with companies and jobs being like, oh, you need X amount of years of experience, but nobody will hire you to give you said experience. Yeah. So I just thought that was really powerful, and good for her for using her platform to.
Yeah. Could you imagine like trying to get a job after that and like the only thing on your resume is like signed artist or something? And I'm sure you probably wouldn't put that on there, or maybe you would. You'd explain it or something. But yeah, that would be so hard and crazy to do.
Especially if you had like a song or a few that were popular, and so you're already like known at that point. I'm sure there would be also like a stigma to hire some, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I can see that too. Like maybe, are you talking about like maybe not them causing problems, but like afraid that it would like bring riffraff?
Yeah, I guess. Or even if it wasn't warranted or justified, they could be like, oh, well, I didn't think that came off good, so it's a no for me.
Yeah, I can see that too. Yeah. She wrote a song. It's called California, and it's about like that time in her life when she like got let go, and she was like talking about like leaving California. It's a really good song. Y'all should go check it out if you haven't. But yeah, I just wanted to name drop that song because it's a really good song.
I'm gonna have to go listen. But big fan. I love how she's just like authentically herself, and like her style is over the top. I love that. I
felt kind of bad for her because like there's a picture going around of Sabrina Carpenter, her, and Billie Eilish, and everybody was in the comments is like kind of dogging on her because she dresses like in drag queen makeup, because that's like her drag persona. And like I guess I'm used to that because I was around drag for so long, and I guess her being in such a big platform, maybe a lot of people who don't usually get like exposure to that aren't used to it.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you have RuPaul and stuff like that, like the Drag Race, but even then, not a lot of people are privy to seeing that, or just it doesn't come across their radar. So I feel like Chappell Roan being out there and like being in drag is just like really putting that out there, and that's why people think she looks a little weird. But
honestly, like if you were an artist and you just like one artist like have like a different style in general, like whatever type of art it is, I feel like you just like are more creative and like you push the boundaries a little bit. But like if you were like a music artist like that, like why would you not like come out in full costume and like do the damn thing? Like it's a performance, you know?
Like Benson Boone, did you see the
I did not.
So Benson Boone, he was like in a full on like almost like Elvis suit. It was a blue Elvis suit, and he had, I think it was Heidi Klum. Is she the model? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think he had her, and then some other girl, I don't remember who, was also to like rip his suit or something off, and then he comes out in this like blue suit. I'll try and find a picture and post it on the video. And well, the whole thing he like performs sounds really good. He's a good singer, but at the very end, I guess his suit was so tight around his junk, he just like puts his hand down there and just like adjusts. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But he's like, all these videos are on TikTok and like everywhere just talking about him adjusting his junk.
You know, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah, he like made a reply video and was like, or like a just post and was like, that suit was riding up in all the wrong places. Like I had to do what I had to do.
I mean, yeah, you can't just like stand in front of like all these people uncomfortable as fuck.
Yeah. God, but if it was that tight, like performing in that, like has to be so uncomfortable.
Well, and how can you like put on your best performance if you're that uncomfortable too?
And if I was a dude, I'd be afraid that my shit would just, you know how like the internet is and how close they inspect everything? Mm-hmm. Like I'd be afraid people would just be micro inspecting everything. I'd be like
zooming in.
Yeah.
Another big thing that is obviously being talked about a lot about the Grammys was Kanye's wife's outfit.
Yeah, that was a choice.
I think we all have seen it.
That was a choice. What did you think about it? That was a choice. Let's start with you.
For one, I feel bad that I don't know her name. I think Bianca.
Yeah.
Something.
I know it's Bianca. I don't know the rest of it.
Bianca West. I don't know.
Are they married?
I'm pretty sure they're married.
Okay.
But
is this the same one that was giving him head in the
what?
The boat?
Giving him head in the boat.
Yes, there was like a whole thing going around about how like I think they're in Italy or I don't know, some country, the ones with the boats in the water, like the little
ones with, I think that's all countries.
The canoes, like you know, under the bridges and
maybe Italy,
like Paris or something like that.
Yeah. Is that called a gondola?
Yeah, that
or is that the thing for the ski lift?
Oh, you know what?
I don't know.
Yeah,
Anywho,
I don't know.
Okay.
But yeah, like a picture was going around, and it was like her in between his legs. And, like, it looked like she was giving him head. It was crazy.
I mean, they're married. Like, why
on a boat in the middle of the water where everybody could see?
I'm sure when you got that much money, why would you care?
I think his daughter was on that boat.
That's foul.
Yeah.
That's disgusting.
Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure. The whole thing was weird. I think they came out and said that's not what they were doing, but I'll have to pull
what
it
else
up
would you be doing?
Something. Yeah, it's super weird. Like, I'll have to show you too, but
okay, yeah,
it's crazy.
I did not know about that. But anywho, I think like obviously Kanye or Ye, whatever you want to call him these days, he was known for obviously like dressing Kim. Like Kim was like his muse, you know, and then he kind of did the same thing with Julia Fox a little bit. I don't think that was her choice to wear that.
That's exactly my assumption too.
Because you see her like turn so her back's facing the camera and he's still facing the camera directly, and he like leans over and whispers to her, and just the side profile view you get, it looks like she's uncomfortable, and like I'm assuming basically said like, do it now. And I felt like there was some reluctancy there.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was getting. I feel like he's like definitely a more dominant person, and maybe she just kind of did it because she's either scared of him or like something like that. And this is just speculation. Yeah. But that's exactly what the point I was going to bring up. Like,
because there's a difference between like, I wouldn't want somebody like dressing me like that for one, but like if that's your thing, whatever. But that doesn't feel like an outfit choice. And to me also, why would you want everyone to see your wife butt ass naked?
I think they got kicked out.
Okay, so I did see that, but then I also heard somebody say they weren't even invited in the first place, and that they just showed up. But I heard somebody say that those were both debunked, and that wasn't true. Okay. I don't know that. Lots of things speculating. I don't know. But why even... Because she was wearing like a sheer dress. Mm-hmm. But why? At that point, like, just don't wear anything at that point.
Yeah, she was literally naked with like a see-through shower curtain over her, basically. Mm-hmm. Except it was even less, or more see-through than a see-through shower curtain.
Yeah, no, like, they had to, like, match that color, like, precisely to her skin tone. Yeah. Like, it looked like there was truly nothing.
I did read, like, he supposedly is coming out with a clothing line of, like, that type of clothing. But, like, no, I wouldn't know. That's just crazy to me. And the first thing that popped in my head was, like, he's got something on her to make her wear that. Like, there's no way she would just do that. But maybe she did. I don't know.
It made me feel sad for her, though.
Me too.
Like, yeah, that felt, like, abusive, in my opinion.
It did, yes. That's exactly what I got from that.
Very gross.
Yeah, it's disgusting. It's like humiliation. Like, trying to humiliate her. And that felt fucked up, for sure.
Maybe he has, like, a humiliation kink or something. I would not put it past him.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. He seems very full of himself and, like...
Definitely a narcissist.
Yeah.
Do you remember that conspiracy theory a while back that Kanye wasn't the new, like, Ye now is not actually Kanye? Like, they replaced him with somebody, like, the heights are different, like, it's not the same person.
Yeah, and even his face looked different or something like that. Yeah, I remember those going around. I think that was about the same time that the scandal about the gondola came out.
You know, I never saw anything about this gondola.
I can't believe that. It was such a big thing.
One more thing I wanted to bring up about this. I saw another creator on TikTok talking about this, and she said she thought it would have been more, like, perceived better if, and, like, more artsy, if she would have came out with a bush. And honestly,
yes,
yeah,
I saw that
she should have came out full bush.
Yeah, I think it would have been funnier, like, to at least cover that, because, like, okay, if you think about it, like, you go to movies. And most of the time they show the boobs, but they don't show the hoo-ha.
Yeah.
The new-new.
New-new.
The cooch. The cooch. The cooter.
Anywho.
Just 30 minutes of us naming
different machines.
I lost my train of thought.
We were talking about the bush being artsy.
And, like, in movies, they don't show, like, they usually have, like, a bush or something over it to cover that part, because I guess that's, you know, like, the most private part.
Yeah.
And they show the boobs. So, like, I feel like it almost would have been better if they had something over that part, just to feel, like, a little more, like, okay, and just had the tatas out. But yeah, that, I don't know.
Well, I think if he would have, like, whoever would have, like, played it that way and done it this way, like, maybe do some matching armpit hair, so then you could play it off as, like, this is, like, how we were intended to be, was just, like, naked, and, like, there shouldn't be anything wrong with seeing a naked body because we all have one. Like, you could have played it off differently, but yeah, she should have showed up full bush.
Yeah, that was... And you know what's funny? I didn't even see that till the next day, because I did watch it, but I guess because I didn't watch, like, the carpet and stuff. Yeah.
You missed Prime.
Yeah, I saw it on TikTok the next day, though.
I think I saw it that same day. I think everyone was like, what the hell? Yeah. But a lot of people were also saying, like, if I had looked like that, I would have been fine with it. And that's fair. No. That's a good argument.
I agree. Like, if I had a, like, body that I felt comfortable with, and, like, shit, bikinis everywhere, bra, like, sports bra, just walking around like people do, like, I would do that shit. So I get it, but I don't know. I still feel like being completely naked, even with a sheer thing over you, just feels too, like, open.
See, I'm going to bring up a weird point, but I've heard people talk about before. Have you heard a naked mom versus a not naked mom? Have you heard this, like, brought up on, like, TikTok or anything before?
No, but I have an assumption.
So I guess just some moms are comfortable just, like, walking around the house naked, or, like, changing in front of their kids, or, like, when they're little, taking a bath with them. Like, that's, like, a naked mom. Yeah. Or you had, like, a mom who did the complete opposite. Mine, I did not have a naked mom, and I can't imagine having one. Seems very weird. But I guess my point to that was, I feel like people who had, like, a naked mom feel, like, more comfortable being naked, because it's not, like, taboo.
Are we talking about walking around the house naked?
Yeah.
Or, like, in the restroom?
Both. I think just like she's just always naked is what
okay.
I'm getting from other people.
Gotcha. Yeah. Well, I mean, like if my mom needs a towel or something and she's in the shower, I'll go in there and give her a towel or something. You know what I mean? Like,
that's fine.
But like, yeah, we're not actively walking. That's so weird.
But that's a thing. There's apparently like there's like a community of people who are like,
gosh. Just like
fine with that.
Oh my god. Okay, so I'm sorry. I'm gonna derail for 1 second just because we're talking about naked moms.
Okay.
I heard this thing the other day, and it was about this guy whose mom has an OnlyFans, and he records the content.
The fuck? No.
Yes. I'm like,
that's child abuse.
He's 21.
That's
20 something.
Okay, well no, there's some weird like incestual tone to that.
Like, that's disgusting. Like that's a line that shouldn't even need to be drawn. That should be a given line. Like, I don't understand how that works.
That's like those moms that want to fuck their sons.
Yeah. That is. Ooh. I'm like, ugh, I couldn't even imagine. That's disgusting.
Oh my god, I'm speechless. I don't even know what we're talking about. Like
naked moms.
This really like got out of hand and like yeah. We hope y'all are still sticking with us after that.
Yeah. No, but that was crazy. Like, could you? I mean, get the bag, but not like that. Like that. You could not pay me enough to do that.
No.
Like, there's no price. No price.
Okay, well, we could also bring up this point.
I was about to say, okay, well, there's
no. I was gonna say we could bring up the point. Is it okay if you're a parent to have an OnlyFans? Not saying if you have an OnlyFans before you're a parent, you can't have one after you become you can't have kids. Does that make sense? Like,
yeah.
How do we feel about parents being on OnlyFans?
I think as long as they're not like actively doing it in front of their children, it's fine. That's how much they make. Like, it'd be like if you're, let's say you had an OnlyFans before, right? Like you said, you have a kid. That's like a lot of money you can make. Like, people make good money, like millions of dollars off that. Yeah. And I think you'd be doing a disservice to your kid to give him a good life if you don't, continue doing that.
I mean, that's fair.
Yeah.
I could see the argument going either way.
Yeah.
But I just thought that was an interesting point that I had seen somebody bring up online the other day. They were talking about one of the teen mom parents.
Which one?
Caitlin and Ty. Do you know who I'm talking about?
Tyler? Like the ones who gave up the adopted?
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's this big thing right now where the adoptive parents completely cut off all contact whatsoever with them. Yeah. And a lot of people were speculating it was because he was doing OnlyFans. I don't necessarily agree or think that's the reason. He has an OnlyFans? Apparently.
What the heck?
Yeah, I don't know. I learned all this week. So a lot of people were saying, like, they don't want her to see that, which I don't know how she would see that, but yeah. I don't know. That just made me think of
maybe,
that.
Okay, since they're more famous, maybe if she Googled his name and then it popped up with the OnlyFans.
Possibly. Maybe. And she's a teenager now, so I mean.
Yeah. That is really sad, though. Like, if you're promised an open adoption and they take that away from you. And I did read, like, things about that and how, like, another reason was because they did not expect the show to go on this long.
Yeah, I saw that as well.
Such a big part of their lives, which I get, but that sucks for the kid. Like, she already knows her sisters or I don't know if they have boys too. But.
Well, hot take. I think they're cutting contact because the daughter wants to cut contact. I think that's probably really hard for her.
Probably.
Because I'm sure when they made that conscious decision to give her up for adoption, they didn't know that the show was going to go on and that they would have money and they would get out of their abusive childhood homes, all the things. But I'm sure her watching that, she could potentially feel like, well, they kept all their other kids, but they gave me up, but they still like had the successful life, but they chose, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like,
or she's old enough now that she's saying like them talk bad about her parents and she just doesn't want to, you know what I mean?
Well, and I'm sure she doesn't like want to be in the spotlight. And I'm sure that's a lot for a 15-year-old to take on. Like,
yeah,
at 15, life's hell. Yeah. You could not pay me to go back to being 15.
I'm just laughing, and not because of what we're talking about, because we went from the Grammys to naked moms to teen moms. We just took a fucking turn.
Hey,
you swerved around the corner. Whoa.
This podcast is just for yapping. And this is just like, if this camera was not here, this is a regular conversation we would have.
Holy crud. That just, it tripped me out the whole time. I was just laughing in my head because I was like, how did we get here?
Sorry, guys, for the tangent.
No, it was, I mean, it's a good conversation. It's just so funny.
But, okay, with you bringing up that point, let's circle back to our little Grammys talk where we were earlier. Yeah. I was going to ask you, you didn't watch the red carpet, but from outfits you saw, what outfit stood out to you? Would you say a best dressed? Would you say who had the worst outfit? Any thoughts on outfits?
I didn't really pay attention at all.
Okay.
But I did see Jaden Smith's house on his head.
Honestly, funny.
It makes sense.
I'm not mad about it.
Like I wouldn't expect anything less from him.
Yes,
like,
exactly.
So that totally makes sense. But that's the only thing I saw.
Okay.
Just like,
yeah, I know he's very artsy, so I see it.
Artsy fartsy.
Artsy fartsy. One outfit I saw a bunch of people talking about, maybe just because I love Casey Musgraves, and so that's why she kept popping up on my feed. She was getting a lot of hate because she wore this like super long, like, how would I describe it? Like streamer, gold, fringy type skirt with a white tank top. And a lot of people were pissed about the tank top, which I found interesting. But it was from Ralph Lauren, and it was exactly how he styled it on the runway.
So I pulled up a picture because I wanted to see what it looked like.
A lot of people are thinking she didn't serve.
No, it looks like you're going to a backyard barbecue and...
See, I don't want to agree because that's my queen and I love her, but I could agree. But like the skirt is great.
No, yeah. I'm sure that skirt's probably like a pricey skirt. Like,
I mean, it's Ralph Lauren.
But
like,
it's just giving barbecue at Tammy's house at 3:00.
Okay, no, it's a little higher elevated than Tammy's barbecue, but maybe like for
Tammy's bar mitzvah.
I don't think a bitch named Tammy would have a bar mitzvah. Oh, shit. Okay, but maybe she could wear it to like one of her shows, but I've seen her wear cuter, so I do think she could have wore something else, but it was exactly how it was worn on the runway, so
yeah,
that's my girl. I'm gonna stand by her.
I don't think it was bad. I just don't think it was Grammys worthy.
I agree.
For sure.
Yeah.
So since we're kind of like, I guess, wrapping up our little Grammys segment, I remembered why I don't usually watch like award shows anymore, because award shows used to be really big. Like you used to watch the MTV Awards, you know, like all that stuff, because it used to be good. But once I got a little older, I stopped watching because I would get so much secondhand embarrassment.
For like the people on the shows?
Yes. Yeah. I don't know why, but like it literally, like I'll have to get my phone and like look at my phone because I'll have such secondhand embarrassment.
Yeah, I can see what you mean by that.
But I don't know why. Like, is that like, does everybody get that? I know people get that, but like I'm just curious as to how many people get that, because like it feels niche. I
haven't necessarily got that watching like award shows, like maybe a handful of times, except for Ye's wife. I did feel embarrassed for her. But yeah, there has been like times I think watching reality shows is when I get secondhand embarrassment for people. I'm just like, oh, why would you say that?
I think for me, it's mostly like I'm fearing for them, like being judged by other people. It's not like I'm judging them, but it's like,
yeah,
I know I would be embarrassed and like super nervous to do something like that. And then I'd be like, oh, cringing inside a little bit.
Okay, this isn't exactly what you're talking about, but it made me think of something like along those lines. There's this one reality show I'm watching right now, Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. Y'all should all watch it. 10 out of 10. But one of the housewives, her son, it's been obvious for a few seasons, but he's like really bad strung out on stuff. And they recorded them having a like come to Jesus heart-to-heart conversation about all the drugs he has done, and he like openly admits and lists every single drug and drug combination that he does. And you can tell he's like a little barred out, like telling this conversation. And I just felt like that was icky to have such a like personal conversation on a TV show like that. I could see the argument of where, oh, well, this is going to help people who like struggle with addiction, want to like get clean and come forward and be honest, and like it opens the conversation up. I can see that argument, but monetizing off of your children's pain is sick and twisted to me. And I feel like once he gets clean and he sees that and sees like people talking about him, like, I don't know. To me personally, like if my mom pulled some shit like that, no, we're beefing.
Well, that's like those intervention shows or whatever that come out all the time.
That's true.
Don't get me wrong, I watch those shows. But yeah, I get what you're saying. That's like people on TikTok who are always like, almost like using the homeless people for views. You know what I mean? Like, I've heard so many stories of like, these creators will give them money and then get it back right after. That's even worse. Not all of them, but I've heard some do that, which is really shitty.
No, that's disgusting. See, with stuff like that, like, I love watching them because it feels like heartwarming, but I guess not secondhand embarrassment, but when I watch those, like, I feel a little upset because I'm a very big believer in if you're going to do something good for someone, you should do it without telling anybody. Yeah. It does not need to be said. It needs to stay between you, that person, and the universe. Like, that's nobody's business.
Yeah, I agree.
And if you're doing something because you want people to, like, boost your ego or, like, make you be like, oh my God, you're such a great person, like, then it kind of cancels out the fact that you did anything good in the first place.
Yeah, it's like, look at me. Look what I'm doing. Like,
yes. Like, do you want a fucking cookie? I hate it. I hate it.
But I can see, too, where that can be sometimes beneficial to help make more money to, like, give back.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So it's kind of a double-edged sword there, I think.
Well, Mr. Beast started that way? Is that right? Where did Mr. Beast start? Like,
I think he just started doing... Okay, so Mr. Beast, I remember watching a video of him, like, doing, like, YouTube videos and not even blowing up for a long time. And then once he blew up, he kind of started getting money. Then he started doing, like, challenges and, like, helping people, I think. Don't quote me on that. But I'm pretty sure that's how it went.
See, I don't know why in my head I thought he started from, like, doing, like, helping videos, and that's kind of, like, how he gained momentum. But I don't know that. I really could not tell you where, like, the origin was.
I've never been, like, a Mr. Beast watcher. Not that there's anything wrong with him. I just don't watch it.
I don't know. We get a little bit of a weird vibe. We did watch his game show. The Beast Games or whatever.
How was that go?
It was pretty good. It was okay. It was a little fucked up because a lot of the challenges... So he starts with, like, 1,000 people, right?
Yeah.
A lot of the challenges were, like... Somebody has to choose to self-eliminate for the other people to go forward. It was a lot of, like, you have to sacrifice yourself for the greater good, and I did not love that.
Yeah. I saw, like, a clip of somebody, like they had to choose to either keep, like, $1 million or, like, split it between people or something like that, or maybe it was a different amount of money, but...
Okay.
Yeah, I saw a video of that, and then of this girl, like, crying because she only got $27,000 because this guy, I think, like, said he was going to do something. I don't know, but yeah, it was really, like, crazy. I need to watch it.
I mean, it was pretty good. I don't think we finished it all the way. We're pretty close to the end. It's interesting, but I don't know.
I watched his Squid Games thing. It was a video of him doing Squid Games. There was a period where I did go watch some of his videos, and then I'd watch them. Like, I went through a little phase. Mm-hmm. So I watched those. But I also watched the actual, like, Netflix real IRL Squid Games.
Like the game show one?
Yeah.
Oh, I liked that one.
Me too. I'd like to be on that.
Was that his?
No, that was Netflix's. But I don't know if his came out before or after Netflix's.
I think after, because I remember watching that a while back.
Yeah.
And this one, I think, came out recently.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's the only thing I've really seen from him.
Anyway, once again, we're getting on tangents, but yeah, I can see what you mean about getting secondhand embarrassment for other people, for sure.
Yeah, and like I said, so one thing I want to touch on too, and this is kind of a different topic, so I'm kind of switching here, but like Do you get not? I wouldn't call it obsessed. Hyperfixation, I guess, would probably be the better word.
Okay.
Do you get hyperfixated on things for periods of times?
All the time.
So like, I was hyperfixated on Chappell Roan's music. Okay, so the first time I ever heard her music was when I went to Portland for a work thing, and then I heard it at a bar there. Somebody was doing karaoke, and I came back, and it was like she blew up everywhere. And then I was hyper fixated on that music so much, and not just one song, like all of the songs. Mm-hmm. She ended up being in like my top 2 Spotify Wrapped.
Not the Spotify Wrapped.
But like too, like YouTube videos. Like I'll get hyper fixated on like there's a channel called like That Chapter, or like I would go through a period of just watching Mr. Beast videos, like all.
Yeah.
So I was talking about that earlier today at work with one of my coworkers, and I just thought that was so strange because I never realized like I go through these phases of like it's just chunks of one artist or like something like that. So I didn't know.
I don't know if I necessarily hyperfixate music wise. Mm-hmm. Maybe a little bit. I think I hyperfixate with foods. Like I'll find a new favorite food and I'll eat it like nonstop to the point I get sick of it and it's disgusting and I never want to eat it again.
Yeah.
What else do I hyperfixate on? Like playing like a game on my phone.
Oh yeah.
Like stimming on a game.
I did. Yeah, I went through that phase of Sudoku.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've hyperfixated on this one for like a long time now, like probably 2 years, but I think it's just called blocks, and it's kind of like Tetris, but not the same. It's similar. But yeah, stuff like that.
Yeah. I don't know. I just go through phases, and like my music phase right now, I think I'm getting back into like pop punk.
Okay.
But this is more of a phase. See, I think there's a difference between phases and like hyperfixation.
I thought you said you were getting back into your emo phase.
I am. So well, my emo phase includes my pop punk music.
Okay, period.
But I guess the two things I was talking about are two different things, because I'm talking about getting back into a phase, whereas hyperfixation I feel like is definitely something different.
No, I agree.
Than a phase. Because like I was hyperfixated with kava, which they don't have down
I've never
here.
had kava, but it looks good.
Oh my god, it's so good. Now I'm wanting kava.
Would you say Moto Medi is about the same or no?
Not the same. It's the same type. Well, I think it's around, like Mediterranean food. But it is not. Nothing will top kava. Like kava is so good. They have like all this. I'm dreaming of it. I'm gonna dream of it tonight. I
feel like if we had one, like I would spend all my money there. Like I just have a gut feeling about
it's like $20 a bowl.
You know they ain't stopping me.
No, I will eat there every day. Like my gym used to be right in front of kava. So after I go to the gym for dinner, I just stop and get kava. Oh my god, I loved it.
That's so honestly great marketing.
Yeah, but if you think about it, it's really not that healthy if you eat the whole bowl. And I eat the whole bowl.
We were talking about this off camera, because we were talking about like dieting and stuff, and I have a big issue with portion control. Like, I can't do that.
Me too. Like, if I have a whole steak that I bought, I will eat the whole steak.
See, like, I normally eat about half a steak. I usually don't finish my steak. I will eat all my carbs. Like, that is my issue. It's like, I'm such a big carb person.
Not me. I'm a meat person. I'm not a big on carbs at all.
See, I wish. Like, if there is rice, pasta, potatoes, anything in front of me, like, I'm going to finish that first.
Yeah. I've never been like a carb person. I've always been like a meat person. Like, for me, like, I guess too, like growing up, we would do a lot of barbecues and I would never really eat the sides, just the meats. So.
Okay. I don't know why this made me think of this, but you know how the carnivore diet is like a really big fad at the moment? Mm-hmm. Have you seen that picture going around? And this guy, he just kept doing the carnivore diet to the point where his palms, like all the lines were full of it looked like butter.
Yeah. I saw that.
It was just like cholesterol seeping out of his hand.
That is crazy. Yeah, I saw that. That was wild.
So, guys, you need vegetables. The carnivore diet is no.
Yeah. I will say that I'm kind of embarrassed to admit this, but I don't do it fully. But I, you know that trend going around where everybody eats steak, eggs, and avocado off of like a butcher block or whatever? So I was like, I got the steak, I got the eggs and the stuff, and I ate it. I didn't put it on a butcher block or the cutting board or whatever, so I wasn't that bad. But man, when I eat steak, I want eggs and I want freaking avocado with it.
No, that actually sounds so good.
It is so good. Like, it really is good. And I like to like mush. I'm a food musher, so I'll like mix my food together. Like, it's going in the same place.
She's a serial killer.
No.
No. What if you had like hash brown patty, avocado spread out like almost like guac, and then you put a fried egg, and then you put thin little pieces of cut up steak on top?
Oh my god.
Would that be so good?
Now I want to eat. But no, that sounds super good. There's something about steak lately, and I think we talked about this too. I think I'm like low in iron.
Yeah.
But like, I'm just craving red meat. And I was never a red meat person. I was like a turkey, ground chicken type of person. But now I'm like really into the red meats.
That's the anemia.
Yeah. Something, man.
You know, you really need to get a cast iron skillet.
Yeah, I do.
I think it really helps because I'm anemic and I mostly just cook with my cast irons now. And I feel like I don't have the same issues that I used to. And I don't, like, I eat red meat, but I could eat more.
Does it have something in it that's supposed to help with iron?
Yeah, it's iron, bitch. When you cook, you get iron in your diet.
In my head, it slowly was processing that I was calling cast iron after.
Yeah, so like you get like a little bit with your meal. It's like a vitamin.
Damn. I didn't even focus. Wow. What is life right now? I didn't realize that, man. Damn. So, I don't know if you've noticed, but we've been drinking these little red drinks right here. This is actually Grillo Pickle V8 Bloody Mary mix. And over the weekend, I made a little review video on TikTok. And like, none of my stuff ever goes viral. Nothing blows up. I mean, I get like 8,000 views every once in a while, but nothing like huge. Overnight, this video just blows up. And now I'm almost at 300,000 views. And so before today's podcast, we actually recorded a video of us making them with vodka, because the first time I made it with like a michelada. Mm-hmm. So I will post that soon. It'll actually probably come out before this video. So if you haven't seen it yet, go watch it. It'll be on my actual TikTok channel, which is Spooky Jazz. And I'm going to kind of, plug us in there. So we can try and get some of those views over to our podcast.
Make sure y'all are liking and following and all the things on our TikToks.
Mm-hmm. Especially because I'm going to have some other things coming up soon. I'm actually starting another podcast in which I will be solo. So no Tay on this one. She's a busy gal. So it's going to be called Blessed Be the Breakdown. And I'm actually going to be going over The Handmaid's Tale and its parallels to things going on these days. So think what we touched on in the last episode a little bit. It'll be a lot of mixing of breaking down each episode of The Handmaid's Tale. And then at the end of each episode, I'm going to go into like parallels to today's life. So things going on. I don't want to bring down this episode because we already had a sadder, I guess, episode last time. But if you're interested in that, go give me a follow. It'll be tagged on my TikTok. And then if we clip this part too, I'll tag it at the Who Even Asked TikTok. But either way, you should be following us on socials. Help us get the name out there. Help us grow a little bit. I feel like we've kind of hit maybe a tiny bit of a wall.
A tad.
So we definitely need you guys' help. Okay. We are growing in viewers on places, which makes us really happy. And that's really awesome. YouTube is like a thing I think which we're going to start probably putting more efforts into. Especially with TikTok possibly once again going away in 60 days.
Wait, is that for real?
Yeah, it's not permanently back. It's only back for a little while.
I'm not even going to get into that tangent right now.
So we got to be conscious of that. And I think like paying attention to TikTok while also putting our like marketing efforts elsewhere will help us a lot. But we could use you guys' help. So, maybe here soon me and Tay will talk about doing some sort of giveaway for followers. So stay tuned for that, and we're gonna kind of collaborate on that separately. This is my first time springing that on her. So
if y'all want to let us know like what kind of giveaway you'd be interested in, drop that down in the comments. We love to get y'all's feedback, and we want to hear from the people. We are here for y'all, so y'all let us know.
What would you like? Okay, let us know. What type of gift? A gift card? A basket? I don't know, something.
Yeah.
But help us help you by helping us.
Period.
Okay? Yeah. But I think we had a pretty decent episode. We touched on a lot of funny things today, which I thought was a nice little ramble session.
Little palate cleanser from last week. We want to keep it a little light this week. Give y'all some laughs.
Yeah. But I think that's the end of this episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. So stay tuned for the next episode. Like we said a while ago, YouTube. I think I'm going to actually try and put us on some other platforms in regards to audio, because I just found out we could do that too.
Okay.
Like iHeartRadio and stuff like that. So stay tuned for that as well. That'll be coming soon. But other than that, thank you guys for watching today. We appreciate you so much.
And make sure y'all check out Jazz's new podcast. Go give it a like, follow, subscribe, all the things. She's going to be having some great content on there. Yep. And we love you guys. And thank y'all for always supporting us. And we will be back next week with another episode.
Bye, guys.
See you later, fuckers.